Alrighty guys, let's go ahead and play a little bit more Torchlight and talk about the game. Is it actually worth playing? This is a frequently asked question. What are the mechanics? What is the in-game shop look like? So starting right off, I would say I think the game is worth playing. It is a blast to play. I'm level 56 right now, just destroying content with this ice build. And it's fun. This is basically our build over here, where we're going to be shooting out these ice shards that can bounce to other targets. You know, this kind of reminds me of like an arc effect, where it will bounce to targets, but it deals less damage based on how many times it is like chaining, essentially. But the build's good. Oh, we just got a legendary right there. That's cool. And just got a skill point. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about the game, though, in terms of its progression. All right, so let me go ahead and move back. There's also kind of a cool mechanic where if you kill these purple monsters, you can summon a group of monsters, and we're going to be a little bit more tough. And there's usually like some sort of like an elite here. This guy's just running away. He's scared. But our damage is really good, and it's got some challenging bosses for sure, where like you will definitely have to actually dodge the mechanic, and it's relatively fair. Like you'll be able to see like a giant square. Don't stand in the giant square when he's doing an attack, or like something will happen, right? Like the game is cool, and I want to show you guys all of the depth, and I want to show you guys a lot more about this game, even the microtransactions, and I want to talk about that because a lot of people are wondering, is this game worth playing? So first off, in terms of is the game fun, for a beta, this game is absolutely amazing. However, it is really close to release. The only like real criticism I could give the game is honestly in the form of the like audio. In Act 2, there's just missing audio. In fact, most of the cutscenes have missing audio. There's a lot of missing assets. I get that. It's, you know, it's an early access. It's not considered out yet. It's coming out very soon though, but those things, I assume those things will be getting fixed. Now the things that are kind of like weary about are specifically the pet system. So starting right off, how's the talents, the trees, do they actually matter? And the answer is yes. You have really cool theory crafting abilities in this game, and I love that. You have basically 3 different trees that you get to select from after selecting from a set of other trees. So I have 3 different trees here. I know my face is blocking, but we have like Steel Vanguard, we have Goddess of Knowledge, and Arcanist. That's what I've spec'd my build into. But there's like, I want to say maybe like 10 different trees that you can pick, and then on each tree, then it opens up, then you can select whichever one that you want, and it's really, really cool. Some of the final nodes are more important than the other ones. Some of them are more catered towards a very specific element, which could be like, let's say, fire, lightning, cold, physical, whatever the case may be. But some of them are kind of hybrid, and it lets you really make characters. Now, when you put a set amount of points, like for example, this one, once we get 18, we'll be able to select, what I want to select is reflection. So we have a bunch of auras on us. It's going to give us extra aura effect and extra damage for each aura affecting us, which is really cool. And on top of that, like on Arcanist, we actually have this ability where I actually reduce my mana, so it's a very, very low amount of mana. So how it works with full load, the skills cost 25% of our current mana. But if we have literally like, let's say 10 mana, 25% doesn't really matter, right? But then we have 35% additional damage for the next skill when the mana reaches the maximum. So if my max mana, because I have a bunch of mana reserved, right? Like all of this gray mana over here it's being reduced because I have what's called auras. If you've played Path of Exile, it's mana reservation. So I've basically reduced my max mana, so it's a very small amount. So when I spend my skill, it will bounce back right to full because I have mana on hit. So you can definitely build your characters to have these cool, crazy ideas, and I love that. That's one thing I really love with this game. It feels more like a true action RPG. Now, how is loot in this game? Loot is probably the best in any action RPG that I've experienced. The reason why I say this is because I play a lot of action RPGs, specifically like Diablo and Path of Exile, or games that I create content for. Now, one thing that I really like is, as of right now, it's not like legendaries are the best in every single slot, but legendaries do have special abilities that can completely change up your build. I have this belt called the Two-Faced Belt, which is insane. I think it might be one of the best belts in the entire game. It's unique that adds tenacity blessings and agility blessings, but we lose out on the rest of the blessings in the game. As of right now, this is super, super powerful. What is a tenacity and agility blessing? Think of it kind of like an endurance charge, and a frenzy charge. So tenacity charge increases the damage reduction that we get, and we can get up to 4 stacks, but we get 3 of these on. So we just basically get 12% damage reduction. This, on the other hand, grants us agility blessing that gives us, because you get 3 of them forever. Extra attack speed, cast speed, and movement speed. But the downside is we have 100% blessing duration. So other blessings are basically canceled out. I'm not running any blessings right now, so this is good. Did we just get the same thing? Let's identify this. How did it roll? Now this one rolled with 2 and 1. I got another one of these belts and rolled 1-1. 3 is way better, obviously, but the item level is going to be potentially higher. So you can see where it says like level 36 versus level 56. So the reason why I like this game's itemization so much is legendaries also scale. Like, for example, if you played like Path of Exile, like Gold Rim doesn't scale, right? Like, it's great for early game, but late game, like, you know, more likely no one really uses it, right? But they scale legendaries, and this is one reason why I love this game's loot. Crafting is something I'll get into later. I can't really speak too much for crafting. I know that there's prefixes and suffixes that you can change. You can also corrupt gear. I have a piece of gear. One of these is corrupted. Corruption is similar to, they call it corroded. It's literally just like a vol orb throwing on top of it corrupts it, basically. So it's corroded over here. So corroded gear cannot be corroded again and consume double materials during crafting. So what's cool with this, once it's like corroded, it can't be corroded again, but it uses double materials during crafting. So it doesn't like ruin it completely like a corrupted item in PoE. Technically in PoE, I know you can go to like the crafting bench and use like vol orbs, but for the most part, it's cool that you can still craft on it. It just requires double material. But you can completely change the implicits. You can completely change up gear with this system. And you'll just get this by just playing the game. But it's not like an orb that you throw out. It's basically a guy that you randomly find and it's like, hey, you want to corrode your gear? Sure. So that's how it kind of works. And what I like with gear in this game is you'll see that it has like damage or survival. And this basically, is the game like up arrow, down arrow? Not really. Sometimes, even if it says like the numbers are different, it could actually mean that it's a downgrade, even though it says it's an upgrade. The reason why I say that is because like you gotta actually look and read what these stats actually do on your character, and this is one thing that I really value in this game, because I've played a lot of action RPGs. Some games nowadays it's just like up arrow good, right? And like I don't like that. I want to actually read what the heck my thing does. I'm sorry, my face is blocking like half the stuff, but the itemization is good at the end of the day. That's all I really wanted to mention. Like, is the itemization good? Is it just numbers? No, it's not just numbers. There's actual stats that you may want to read. Like, for example, this one gives us +2 cold skill level. So, like, on my skills over here, just like in PoE, you level up your skill gems, right? You level up your skill gems and you level up your support gems. Right now I have Ice Lance, which shoots out the projectile, then it bounces, and then does less damage based on the bounce. Then we have multiple projectiles, so we shoot out multiple. Then we have Efficient Cast, which makes it so they have reduced mana cost and extra cast speed. Then I've got this other support gem called Elemental Fusion, which makes it so they cannot inflict ailments, but they do extra damage. And you might know where this is going. A lot of this stuff is actually similar to Path of Exile, which I think is a fantastic thing because I love Path of Exile. So you have a bunch of different skills. You can actually run the same skill and run different support gems in the same skill, but in a different socket, if that makes any sense. So you can, right now I'm running 2 of these frigid transmissions. The reason why I run 2 is because I need to use ice skills to actually build up my other mechanic, which is actually called the hero trait, which builds up a certain element and just does more damage. And as you progress, you can kind of modify it. You'll have more choices, but basically when we deal damage, we're just going to deal more damage when we activate it. It's nothing really too special, but at level 50, fire and cold like increases and reductions also apply to each other. So what this lets you do is hybrid out to have a cold and fire build. Right now I'm just basically doing cold, but there is a way to do like cool hybrid builds, and that's one thing I really like. You also have your buff bar. I have a bunch of buffs up over here. So let me go over the auras, because like I said, this game's got so much depth, and like I've been grinding this game, and like I said, I can highly recommend this game, but I do want to give you guys a warning. There might be some pay to win in here. Well, there's definitely some sort of pay to win, but how much may not actually matter. And this is something we'll talk about in just a second. But I want to talk about the auras. So you have auras over here that you can activate. We have like extra, it gives us extra cold damage over here. We have this to reduce enemies' cold resistance. It's extra cold damage. And we can actually throw in, let's say, like we have steadfast over here, increased armor. And then we have this one for swiftness, so just extra movement speed. There's legitimately like determination and grace in here. Like if you've played Path of Exile, you will legitimately feel right at home. So I've reserved a lot of my mana over here just so we can have, again, that like active ability. Now, in terms of potions, how do these work? Because I had a few questions on this. Do you get potions? How do you heal? Life regen is actually really good in this game. I actually probably don't even need to run these heals, except for during boss fights, because bosses hit really hard. You need a way to bounce back real fast. So I'm running 2 different heals. One of them heals mana and HP, which is the compound source, and then you have life source. As far as acquiring these gems, you can literally acquire all the gems. It's probably because the game's in like closed access, beta, whatever, that you could just get all these gems like for free. You literally just open up the skill tree and you go, okay, change. And you could just literally go over here to the shop and you can just hit buy. In the actual game, I don't know if this is the same. I'm like totally cool with this. I like this system. Like they legitimately let you try out like everything in the game. And I think this is so freaking cool. Now, some skills in the game will require you to use a certain like weapon type, which makes sense. Like leap attack with like wands wouldn't really make sense. So you have to use a certain weapon for certain abilities. And I'm totally okay with that. There's a lot of different things that we can test out, and I will be testing out every single skill. Right now though, I've got Ice Lance. And what's cool is when you purchase these, they are at a reasonable level. Like this is level 14. If we buy this, it's level 12. So it's like at a decent level. So it really encourages you to play the game, like as in like you can respec too, like you can try out new things. Like it says in the game, it says up until level 75 we can respec at any point. So this game, I love this game because it feels like the people that played this game, definitely one, they played PoE for sure, 1000%, and that's a good thing because like there's a lot of mechanics that I feel like are really well designed in this from inspiration from other games, but they let you respec your entire tree. In fact, I might do that at some point, and that will be really cool up until 75. So it lets you experiment, right? That's great. Now, here's where I get into the system over here called the pact. So you can have up to 3 pets, and you socket in these pets inside of this pact tree. Now, what do the pets do? Now, with these rings, so you have 3 different pets. Each pet over here will correspond to 6 different nodes that it will be able to affect. So if depending on which pet is socketed, it will affect this upper left, upper right, and then like the bottom here, okay? So the pet that's socketed in here changes these things. Now, when I put in the pet, it lets me put in, well, I can switch. So like, because this pet will have minus XP missing, so you lose less XP upon death if I put in this node, but I can switch this. I can swap this at any time, but I prefer the elemental resistance. Now, this pet over here, has the ability for XP protection. So that's what this pet does. I think you just get one of these for free. Like this is the only rare pet that I've gotten. The rest are all like common here that I've gotten. And I haven't spent 1 penny in the game yet. But what these also do, so you have like the different pets will affect the tree, right? This is like even you have the inner ring, and then once you put enough points here, you get the outer ring, then you get the far outer ring. The furthest outer ring is awesome. It's like minus 9% extra damage taken. We have extra elemental resistance. It's basically doubling some of the stats over here. We get a massive amount of mana regen. But these can be switched too. Now, some of them cannot be switched. Like if this one, if we swap, we go to 3% chance to avoid all damage. Okay, that's cool. But some of these will affect the gameplay 100%. But remember how I was saying that there is this upgrade reward. So we have plus an additional pact point. Outer ring gains bonus affixes. So we have pact point plus 1, and then it says effects of bonus affixes in outer ring 100%. Affects non-bonus affixes in outer ring 33. The little important part is we're looking at is plus 100 plus 33, right? That's kind of important, okay? So when I go into the shop here, I'm gonna go into like the purchasing, because you have to buy these with real money, or you can acquire these, like you get a bunch of gems in the very beginning, but knowing how a lot of free-to-play games are, they give you a bunch at the beginning. Like at this point, we've opened up 10 of these packs, monster packs, to get these pets. And I haven't spent anything, but it'll probably dry up as you progress in the game. That's normal with any free-to-play game, right? So we look at the details over here, and I'm going to go to these spirits. What's the chance of pulling these? We have a 1.5% chance at pulling a good one. I have not even pulled a rare one. The one rare one we got for free, like in the tutorial. The rest I've been all pulling. Look at 86%. That's pretty big. But what's the difference between like a legendary one and a regular one, right? Well, going into these, now you can upgrade these pets, and this could definitely affect the game. I cannot speak for any upgrades on legendaries because I don't have them. I've never unlocked one. But looking at these over here, it still says 100% of the bonus, and it's another 33 of the outer ring. Okay, so that still is the same number. So these sort of things where you're able to like reverse the pet passives, right? Oh, another thing, if you're wondering, can you like get your pet and send it to town like in the previous Torchlight games? I don't think so. But anyways, the most important thing is this is what like the effect does. Now, is this effect super good for us? Maybe not, because I can't do ailments anyways. But because of one of the support gems that I'm running. So this one might not affect me, but there could be one that's really, really, really good and powerful. This is extra chance for synthetic troops to deal double damage. Maybe these will be super, super powerful, but how much this number, at least in its current level 1 state, is not an insanely like overpowered to the point where like I'd be like, oh gosh, this game is so pay to win where like if you don't have money, you're just gonna lose. I cannot say though if you upgrade it, if these numbers will go so high. Like let's say that the other one, like I have some small, like some of the small nodes I have are 10% damage. Like I have it like on my tree already, but this is like 14%. Chance to deal double damage. That could be actually pretty big, depending if you're playing a minion build or not. So again, as you upgrade these numbers may change up and go super high to the point where like, yeah, it's like ultra pay to win. But as of right now, at level 50, I would say that I did not need to pay any money. Oh, I didn't pay any money. I didn't feel like the game was OP and like locked my progression. I didn't have a stamina system either. But this is one area where I would say that there is some potential for the game to actually have pay to win, because you can't just like get these as a drop, as far as I'm aware of. You can complete a bunch of quests and you'll get these jagged primo crysts, and then you could purchase these in the shop. Speaking of shop, this is a question I kept on getting asked, so this is the video that I'm going to go over all the microtransactions because I want to dig deep into this game, as this is a game I'm definitely interested in. So going over it, you can obviously, you know, you can buy, here's the currency conversion rate, by the way. 60 of the, I'm going to call them triangle diamonds, just, well, they're actually called diamonds. So 60 diamonds for $1, and the first time you purchase it, you get like double the amount, okay? So you also have like a battle pass that you have in the game, but the most important thing is these crystals. These are just for cosmetics, I believe. But if I go to the option over here, this is using the pack system to increase gear drops. So if I get extra gear, I mean, for me, I would consider like getting extra gear. I would consider that pay to win, right? But like, how much does that matter? I cannot speak for it, because it's not just cosmetics. I have heard other people make videos and say this game is just got cosmetics. No, it definitely has a gacha system where you get random pets, and these pets that definitely affect the game, but I'm enjoying the game, okay? At the end of the day, if this game has pay to win, I'm going to complete the campaign, and, you know, I could play other games. You know, we got lots of action RPGs coming out in the future, but I do want to stress that if you're watching any content creator and they say the game doesn't have pay to win, it's just cosmetics, that is 1000% false. These affect gameplay. Now, what else can you buy in the shop, right? You know, I think we have to go to another screen. We've got to go to Boon. It's weird. So what can you get? So we have, let me go to the details. So you can get different outfits and you can get different skin effects. So what's this? Okay. Well, let me go. There's also these other heroes. I don't know if heroes are locked behind this, but there was one hero that was like, he was in here, which is really weird because it's like a different variant of another hero. Is it in here? Okay, you see there's a hero shop. So I'm not sure if they're planned, because there's another character called Erica that she's like a cat girl, and for some reason she's just not in the game. But I've acquired these, like I said, I have not spent any money. So you can still acquire these heroes. This is another variant of a hero, and if you go to view details over here, he has different hero traits, I believe, than the other one. It could be cosmetic. I don't know, because I haven't played this character. But I'm saying that like there are also heroes that are locked to potentially some sort of progression system, in either you have to grind up a long time to get it, or if you want to get extra gear tabs, these are extra room. There's also an auction house. The auction house, at least last night, I was trying to like look at stuff. Nothing was really listed. The game just came out, so I was just looking for legendary things. But on top of that, there is actual, there's town portal. There is a, okay, outfit, here we go. So there are cosmetics. So like, I'm okay with this. I think most people like understand if it's a free to play game or even a pay to play game. Okay, you have cosmetics, you have weapon skins. I guess for our weapon skin, we might not have the ability to change it. Okay, so we have different weapon effects. We also have back accessories. So like, think of like wings in games, like cool. It's just a wing. It's just this one you get, I guess, as a 7-day sign-in bonus. But like it's like normal stuff. Like I said, it's like PoE. Like you have the what is it? The footprint effects. Like these, as far as I'm aware, these do not affect gameplay. And then you also have a body effect. So it's a little like aura around your character. You have a portal effect. Some of these are actually really cool though. Like this is awesome. Like I want 1000%. I'm totally okay with cosmetic only. And then I guess we can have some. Okay, some avatar. So there are some other things that you can get, but as far as I can tell, these are just like in just cosmetics. But there are certain skill effects as well, and again, I'm okay with that. The only thing that is like that I would say is like kind of like iffy on this, the whole like you can unlock this hero via like these merits that you'll get in the game. I don't know how long it's gonna take. Like I said, I've been playing this game about 8-9 hours, because half the time I'm like sitting here talking about the game and making videos, right? So In terms of the shop over here with this, I mean, you can see there's a character here. I've got 40. Is it going to be something where it dries up eventually? I don't know. There's probably just going to be different variants of characters that have different hero traits. And my guess is the other ones that you all have to unlock may be more powerful. I don't know. But it's mainly in terms of pay to win and any microtransactions that I would be concerned about, because I expect storage. Storage is in the gray area. Skins, I'm 100% okay with. Storage and extra, like, fast, like, you know, convenience. There's even a thing, does it show off in here? I don't remember where it shows up. But in the battle pass, or like if you buy the battle pass, it specifically tells you there's some like sort of auto pickup thing, and like that would be kind of like arguably like it would be faster progression, right? But it's not like pay to win. The pay to win comes down to what pets are you going to get, and what are these outer rings, and on top of that, if you can see these pets are level 1. If we start upgrading these pets, right? If we upgrade these pets, what potentially will we get? Will it affect these numbers on the legendary ones? Again, I'm sorry I can't tell you guys, but if you guys do know, definitely let me know, because I definitely want to cover more of this game. But if it definitely has a lot of these like super pay to win stuff, then I'm going to do the campaign and then just wait for other action RPGs. But I still think this game has potential, and it is still a blast to play. So let me know guys' thoughts on the game. But that's my mid-tier progression / thoughts on the game, and that's the cash shop that is in the game right now. But anyways, thanks for tuning, guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. If you're new and do want to see more Torchlight Infinite stuff, subscribe to the bell, and I'll be dropping lots of videos very soon. We're probably going to be dropping endgame content very soon, as we're getting towards max level very soon. But anyways, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace!